episode 2. I'm feeling excited, admittedly a little dorky. That's my own little thing, but you know what? We push through what we feel to still do what we want. And so I'm here feeling those things. It's probably just because I feel a little rusty, but I'm excited. So if you have been following along, you know, episode 1, I kind of got into a bit of my reasons and for kind of being on this hiatus. But the remainder of this podcast, I am focusing on you, an individual who may be feeling like stuck or like your life is in a rut. Very similar to the feeling I had around just creating content online. If you're feeling like that resonates, stick around. The remainder of this season is just going to focus on helping you find strategies to get out of that. And so that brings us to this exciting episode today. All right, so this episode is really exciting for me because it's going to give you something tangible that has helped me in my journey of getting out of the rut of, creating online. And that is about, quite literally, romanticizing your life. So a big part of what I want you to think about before we dive into, my tips and advice is just imagine how you got to where you are, okay? How did you find yourself in this place where you're feeling stuck? You feel like life isn't advancing the way you expected. You feel like your job isn't all you dreamt it to be. Maybe you're not enjoying the roles that you have found yourself in. But before we kind of tease that apart, I want to understand maybe what's going on inside the mind of someone who is experiencing this. And obviously I'm a psychiatrist, so I have a lot of experience in talking with people. And so there are certain themes that come up. I want to take a moment and explore with you the ways that this shows up and just, some of the folks I've been working with. It's no one particular person. This is just kind of a concept, a theme that I've been seeing. And so let's talk about someone who might be experiencing feeling stuck at work. Like what's happening in their mind? What's some of the ways that they're thinking? Well, one of the prominent things that I notice with people is they might be expressing what I kind of identify to them as a depressive cognition. Like their thought process is really slanting towards a depressive experience. So instead of seeing the way out, they really feel closed in. They feel hopeless. They feel detached from reality. And a lot of the times what I might point out to someone that I notice is really operating from a depressive cognition is that these thoughts are probably not reflective of what you really feel. They probably reflect more of what's happening to your mind and body. Like you could be depressed. And so that is a big layer, a big moment that people uncover, that they realize like, wow, maybe all this time I haven't really been frustrated about work, but I felt trapped in it because of the feeling state I'm in. So a big piece I'm getting at is it's a mindset issue, and maybe it's also because there are symptoms of depression. But just to kind of refocus this moment, again, people are really identifying that they're struggling with seeing a way out of things. And I'm just here to shape for you that it can be because of symptoms and it can be because of a mindset shift. And a part of what we do when we're feeling this way is we detach. We numb out. We're on social media. We're watching hours and hours of television. We're, eating foods that kind of stimulate some of this dopamine release. We're just doing what we can to self-soothe. And I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at you doing what you need to feel better. But sometimes overindulging actually just makes things worse. So I want to kind of get you back into your mind and body. So again, romanticizing your life. We're going to get to it, okay? And so that really brings me to romanticizing your life. This is, I think, a potential strategy to help you shake things up a bit, right? I want you to really think about things in a very special way here. And so let's think about the concept of romance, right? It's about love. It's about expressing this love. Typically, we think about romance as it relates to someone else, right? They are pouring this into you. It's really a passive experience, right? That's why people get so swept away with finding love. You don't really have to do anything when you're caught in that. But when we romanticize ourselves, our experience in our life, we are pouring love into ourselves. And one of the best ways to do that is to slow down and really pay attention to the things that spark that joy, that warmth, all which can be examples of what we feel when we're feeling that kind of erotic, romantic love. How can you intentionally slow down and pay attention to what you have right now? Because let's be honest, it's not about coming out of this rut like with the snap of a finger. I mean, it's For a lot of people, it's been a part of their reality for years. But it is about really bringing your attention back to the here and now and paying attention to what really brings you joy. So I just want you to kind of like start to think about this concept of love, of romance, of romanticizing your life as something you are doing for yourself. Now you are in a space where you're like, oh, okay, romanticizing my life, that's a thing. It's okay for me to really just love on myself, love on my experience. So yes, if you're there, you got it, right? You're following me with this. So how do you incorporate this into your life? Well, I want you to start the moment you open your eyes. Personally, when I open my eyes, I'm usually awakened by either a child who wakes up around the same time entering, into me and my husband's bedroom, or the natural light coming in. Either way, I give wonderful energy back. If it's my child, good morning, I love you, good to see you, I'm happy. If it's the natural light that's woken me up, I'm like, wow, the kids must have slept really well. I get a moment to myself. I'm looking at the positive in the experience versus, oh, here we go, I got to get up, I didn't get enough rest. No, we're not going to pay attention to those things. We're going to focus our attention on the things that really uplift us. And it's all about how you slow down and pay attention. So as I said, you're waking up, you're noticing those moments, and you're carrying that same energy with you throughout the rest of the day. This concept is interpreting up. I use it personally in patient care. For example, if a patient comes in and they're in a depressive cognition, right? Life is terrible. I'm stuck in a rut. No one gets to live their dreams anyways. Why am I trying? I, in my mind, believe that this is not really what they think and feel. That they're in front of me because they actually want a different life. They are there because they want to get better. They believe they can get better. So interpreting up is actually me not colluding with the dark, depressive thoughts, but actually holding in my mind a picture for something better. And so that's what you're doing when you wake up and you romanticize your life. Yes, life can be difficult right now. I mean, I'm not trapped in some altered reality. I see what's happening in the world, and I too have been affected by some of the things happening. But again, it's about taking this opportunity to interpret up and believe that there is something special for me, and I'm going to enjoy what I have because this is my journey. All right, so you are personally now in this journey. You're saying, I'm going to start my day off with like romanticizing it. And so I just want to give you some things to look out for. So for breakfast, like pay attention to how you feel when you're getting that first sip of coffee or tea or orange juice. Like savor it, right? Like, this is really good. This feels nice. Or if you like made a really cute dish, or maybe it's not such a cute dish. It doesn't have to be cute to romanticize it. It's more or less like embracing like, this is something I'm doing for myself. I'm not just going to mindlessly eat. I'm going to like make a breakfast for myself. I'm going to make a moment out of this if I have a family or if I have a roommate. I'm going to make this something intentional because I'm trying to bring myself back to the here and now instead of running off to social media or some TV show and basically watching other people romanticize and make a big deal out of their own lives. So you're doing that with breakfast. You're doing that on your commute. Maybe it's listening to some song that you really like, or maybe it's a song a friend or loved one recommended that you're like, I'm just going to vibe out to this. Or maybe it's a book that you're going to take if you're, traveling on the subway. If you're driving, sure, maybe you're listening to my podcast. I mean, I want you to listen to this. I don't want to just release this out to the abyss. Like maybe you're hearing this. Either way, you're saying, I'm going to take ownership of the small wins. And those small wins over time can equate to me feeling less stuck, for me to really feel like, what I have right now is exactly what I need. So if you're following with me, right, we're really just talking about seeing the beauty in the everyday. I mean, that's really what romance is, to be honest. Like, it's about someone seeing, if we're talking about like romantic, like erotic love, it's about someone seeing the beauty in you. And again, that's why it can be such a fierce, just overflowing experience because, oh my gosh, you have the nerve to love me, flaws and all. Like you have the nerve to see me and you're not afraid. Imagine just turning that on to yourself and just, so many doors can open. So it's, again, just slow down and see the beauty. I am not preachy. I'm not trying to say that I am practicing this with ease either. I mean, there's still some things personally I'm like, I got to keep working on this area. But I can tell you, since I personally have started to just slow down and embrace, like, it is what it is. For example, I'm a mother. I already told you I had to redo the start of this episode because my children, they wanted to come and, see what's going on. The office looks different, all that stuff. But it's really important to just, for me, I said, let's embrace it. Like, we're going to roll with it. We're still going to address the fact this is where they are developmentally. How can I not make this like a, difficult experience for them? I'm just going to roll with it. And so that's a part of what you're doing when you're seeing the beauty in the mundane. You're seeing how this is really what life is. And I know I keep circling back to that, but if I could get that through to people, it's like, that's really it. This is your life. Embrace it. Love it. But slow down. That's one way to help you, really do that. Here are a few tips I want you to add to this practice of really looking for ways to romanticize your life. Okay, we're going to start with some of like my greatest hits. All right, so let's start with a gratitude practice. Whatever that looks like for you, I want you to go like all into that. For me, it's really, again, slowing down and just being grateful, right? So I'm grateful, and I will use that language. Like, I'm grateful for someone's friendship. I'm grateful to be a mom. Like, I'll just kind of acknowledge that. And I do thank God. Another practice I want you to think about is moving your body, like really getting in tune with what's happening. You can do this through yoga, Pilates, stretching. Like, I'm coming back to stretching personally. Like, I think that's something that really, there's like some evidence that could be helpful for just, aging a bit more gracefully. But there's a whole bunch of just literature and images and videos online around that. So this is going to just help you to pay attention to where stress lives in your body, etc. So think about that concept as well. Also, I want you to set small, achievable goals. And it can just anything in your mind that you've been putting off or something that you feel like you need to work on. But whatever goal it is, I want you to make it achievable. Like, I want it to be something that can just help you keep going towards the next thing, right? So if it's, hey, I want to start exercising, don't, necessarily jump into something that you just know you're not going to be successful at. Instead, I want you to do something that can help you build towards something bigger. So maybe it's going for a walk, and then the walk leads into a jog leads into a run, and then you're signing up for, half marathons, etc. Lastly, I want you to think about just creative expression. And again, this can be done through fashion, it can be done through journaling, it can be done through creating art. I mean, it just anything. It could be even just how you, make like a recipe. Just get more in tune with like, I'm going to kind of do things my own way. And I just want to see if I can create a little love and art from that. Another tip is self-care. I mean, this is, an entire episode. In fact, it will be. But I want you to think about this practice as something of really just taking good care of yourself, right? Like, do the things that your mom told you needed to be doing. Like, putting some of that back onto yourself, right? Really just taking good care of yourself. These strategies will all just help complement your goal of just looking at your life through rose-colored glasses. Like, I want you to see the beauty in all the things that make your life what it is. And again, this is not really about being perfect. This is not a practice that I want you to think you're going to jump into. And if you wake up one day and yes, you're not feeling it, you are actually seeing things more negatively, throw, all of these concepts out. Look at it as something that you are just working towards. It's like a muscle, right? You're strengthening this ability to see your life as something special, which is what romanticizing your life is. It's not saying my life is better than someone else's or mine is more special. It's just like, I see what's special about my life. And as you're complementing that thought process with some of these strategies, I'm hoping that you'll start to see a way out of the rut that you've been experiencing. So you've made it to the end of this episode. We have been talking about romanticizing your life. I want you to put those rose-colored glasses on. I want you to live in the here and now and just see the beauty of what you've got. If you've been inspired by this episode, you want to talk more about it, I want to hear from you, so you can send me a message on Instagram or shoot me an email at hello@askdrjess.com. And tell me, what have you noticed about romanticizing your life? Specifically, like, has it helped move things along for you? Are you feeling less in a rut? Tell me some things that have really helped. Are there some, areas of your life that you want me to be able to share with others? That's like a great example of how you've romanticized things. Like, let's exchange here. This is a community, as it's always been. And so a big part of that is you sharing with me so I can share with others and me sharing with you. So again, thank you for listening. Share this with your friends, your loved ones, your frenemies, whomever. And remember, you are not your pain. You are love. Be well.